work needs to be fun in some way. And the biggest way for it to be fun for me is to treat it like my sport. Because I'd much rather talk about what we're doing at work and how we're trying to win at work than, talking about K-State or Green Bay or Notre Dame or the Royals or something like that. I much rather talk about my sport, which is most recently been Solomon Corp. And it's really made working a lot more gratifying and a lot more fun, and made it really difficult to leave. But I think if you're not doing something at work where you can make it feel like your sport, where you know what winning looks like, and you can measure whether you're winning or not, when you get to that point, it's just a hell of a lot more fun. And so, can't have fun at work. And I don't mean being half-assed at work. I mean make it fun, like a sport. It's hard, but you know when you're winning, and what makes it fun is winning, figuring out how to win. And so that's really the way I've felt about my job at Solomon Corp for the last several years. And I've been very, very thankful for it.
That's great. There's no better feeling than a job well done.
It is. That's right. And to know that, you got to know what winning is. And that's, I guess, another huge piece of advice I'd give my kids about work is if you can figure out what winning looks like, particularly if you got a boss that can help you out with that, or you could just figure it out yourself, your work will be far more transcendent, enjoyable, and it'll make you a better person in many ways.
Is there anyone in particular that you'd like to offer a special thank you to, just looking back over your life?
Yeah, that's another good question. You're really good at this, Rich. I would offer that to a number of people. One is my mother, who was always there for us, always there to offer advice, never forced it on us, never forced it on me in particular, but always gave me advice or answered questions a way that I could understand and use. And to her, I would add several early bosses. Dick Rolfe at his hog farm I worked for 4 years in high school. And Dick was one of those guys that delegated very clearly to me. When I screwed up, he let me know it, but he didn't hang it over my head and treat me like I was a moron because of it. He let me learn from it, even at a significant expense to himself. My first boss at P&G, Tom Adamek, was another guy who was fairly young, but he gave me a lot of responsibility, and we were very good friends, and we seemed to see the world in very similar ways, and again, I learned so much from him. I was very comfortable going to him for advice or going to him and getting straightened out on things. And Tom was free with his advice, blunt, honest, and yet he knew how to talk to me in a way that was, I thought, fair, balanced, and that I learned a lot from. And I'd probably go on from there and say, in general, my whole relationship with the Procter & Gamble company, many people have heard me call them a national treasure, and I think they are. I think there are a few companies like that that do a great job of developing their people, and many of their people go on to work for other companies and do great things for other companies, and I think P&G has been a great value to the U.S. In many ways because of that. Let me go back and add another one. You know, when baseball was so important to me at an early age in my life, the summer times, you know, in Minneapolis there wasn't a whole lot going on before I was old enough to work on farms or anything like that. And Johnny Goddard, as I mentioned before, he and I were great friends at that stage of our life, and we both loved baseball. And we went to Dave Rupert when we were about 13 years old. We didn't have a baseball program in Minneapolis, and we knew of Dave's interest in creating opportunities for youth in the area, and we went to Dave, and he I don't think he didn't consider himself any kind of expert in baseball at the time, or maybe even later, but he took on our team, did a great job coaching us for the next 5 years, and gave a lot of us kids in the area a very meaningful way to spend time in our summers, and was the kind of guy I would love my kids to be to have as a coach and to have as a mentor. And so wanted to mention Dave as well.
Do you have a special message for Louise?
My special message for Louise, I mentioned a part of this, and that is I have told her many times how at a party, I've looked across the room and I see her across the room and I think, my God, she is the most beautiful person here, where I'm just reminded over and over again how she carries herself with grace, how beautiful she is, how and how much I've just admired her all of my life since you know I was 30 years old and met her, and certainly here for the last year and a half as I've gone through this whole cancer battle for the second time, and particularly here lately it's gotten particularly difficult, and she has just taken care of me from morning to night every day, with and making me feel nothing but like it was her favorite thing to do. And she has taken away probably a lot of the otherwise what I would have had regrets about, just because she's been so sweet and wonderful about how she reacted to the situations and made help me get through a lot of really difficult situations. But before that, for the last 20 years, she has really been the one who managed our family, knew how to take care of our kids, knew how to guide in terms of what they ought to be doing or what we needed to be doing for them, and really taking on things that I didn't know how to do. And, so in a way there, we had a little bit of the division of family or parental responsibilities that worked really well for both of us. And I think in a way that's been very good for our children and has been good for our relationship as well. I've never doubted my good fortune in meeting her, getting her to marry me, and spending the last 20 years with her. Even up to this afternoon. When I see people that think that never wanted to get married, I understand that, but what I don't think they might understand is all of the benefits of being married to the right person. I grant, I think you need to marry the right person. That's what it all starts from. But for those of us who are lucky enough to find that person, boy, it is a great benefit in life, and a great cause of joy in life.
How about a message for your dad?
My dad, I've been very fortunate. I've told many people this. He wasn't around much when I was a kid. Mostly because he was driving a truck for so many years and just wasn't around. And then I went off to college and didn't see him, and moved to Kansas City, moved to Cincinnati, moved to Denver. And it really wasn't until my first round of cancer and Dad started calling me every Sunday, which at first seemed a little funny to me, but then I just came to love those phone calls because we were starting to reconnect, and I think it really made it much more attractive to me to move back here to Kansas. Next time I got an opportunity to find a job here. And I have always, even since I was a kid, I've always really enjoyed the time with my dad because he just is such a funny, witty, sharp, guy. He's very self-deprecating. Never forced anything down anybody's throat. He's been generous throughout his life. And I learned at an early age to respect black people, even though we had one family that lived in Minneapolis at the time, the Coopers. And through very simple acts, my dad taught generosity, and he taught that we're all in this world together, and it's none of us is any better than anybody else. And so it was never difficult for me at any point in my life after that to, if I ran into anyone that was different, whether they were black, Indian, Asian, whatever, I had no problem just seeing them as 100% equal in every way to myself and everybody else, and just that, hey, yeah, there's some differences there from the way we were brought up, but we all have our own talents, and we all have our own things that we bring to this earth and make it a better place, and that's what we want to find in other people, not differences. We want to find the similarities, and I learned all that in a very brief, very efficient way from my father. And he would probably be surprised to hear me say that, but that's God's honest truth, and it was greatly to my benefit, I think. I don't share any credit for that. It was just a free gift to me. And I'm still nowhere near as generous as my father towards other people or people who are different in any way. Rich just reminded me that probably the thing Louise is going to use this retrospective on first and foremost, or the reason she's really doing it, is to share with friends at some kind of memorial party or memorial service after I'm gone. And to those who come, I just want to say thank you, particularly over the last several months. I've really been reminded so many times of all the generosity of so many people in our lives, generosity that I wish I could had been able to give back to you in some way, but nonetheless, it's brought a great deal of joy to our lives, and as I said much earlier, really the most important thing in my life has been the relationships I've had, and I didn't always recognize that. In fact, I didn't really recognize it that much until somewhat later in life, and that's when I really tried to start working a little bit less. Never probably gave as much time and energy to as I should have. But I've been surprised at the number of people that have kind of stayed with us in friendships throughout the years, even though we've been moved from one place to the next, to the next, to the next. And it makes it hard because you end up losing track of some friends. Through that time, gaining new relationships, gaining new friendships. And I've many times felt like, gosh, I've exceeded my capacity to service these relationships and to be the kind of friend that I ought to be. But none of our friends seem to be show that at all. And so we've just had been blessed in so many ways to spend quality time with people that give us deep things to talk about and help us learn and grow. And that's always been a great source of enjoyment and value in our lives. And I feel honored to have friends come join time with us in memorial to our lives together. And I want my kids just to live their lives. They're just creating their lives right now, and I think they are going to be very effective at doing that. But I look forward to them focusing on their relationships and having good memories of home and family, but also putting the majority of their effort into developing their own lives, their own relationships, their own friendships, and over time giving to those relationships in a way that makes the world a better place. And so thank you for being here and supporting us. I wish I could do the same for you if the tables were turned. And so thank you, Rich, and thank you, folks, for being here with us. And I just wish I had a little more energy so I could be myself a little bit more. I hate to have people remember me like a slug. But don't remember me like a slug. Remember me like the fun guy at the lake or places like that. And I think the memories will mean a lot more. Thank you.
Thank you.